NSC Fan TV, here we are again at the opening of the new season.
New season, man! It feels like it's been an age.
It's been forever. This feels good.
I agree.
This feels good after a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, the victory helped.
Wouldn't it have felt good if we lost?
We've been like, hey, welcome back. Right, we call it the fortress. It's more like the torture chamber.
For ourselves.
The dungeon.
The dungeon. Yeah. 2-0 victory over NYCFC. A squad that is in transition.
Yeah, that's definitely showed signs that they are rebuilding and kind of didn't know what to do with their midfield.
But they knew what to do in the back and in the front.
Smashing people in the back.
Smashing people in the back and trying to smash and grab in the front.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, we have things to say about them, but let's talk about us.
Let's talk about us.
So, let's talk about, first off, I just loved how intelligently Bunbury played. There was a little bit of criticism on the channel after the game about Bunbury being slow, but I don't think that's not his game anymore. His game is playing intelligently, being a service agent, being someone who moves in space. And I think that he played well as someone who's kind of a point in the front.
Yeah, I think Bunbury, to me, he said, you know what, I'm going to leave that for Zubak when he comes on. he can blast and zoom forward. I'm gonna abuse my soccer IQ and just sit back and know where people are. I felt like he was instrumental. That first half for him was electric.
Yeah, I thought he had a good first half.
Yeah.
So okay, so we agree on the Bunbury point. We had some we have friends who disagree about the Bunbury. They think that he was a little slow and looked like he was missing something.
Yeah.
I don't think the speed's part of his game anymore. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think that his game is soccer intelligence, hold up play, touch play,
positional advantage, stuff like I can see that. And I think honestly I think it's welcome.
Interesting.
I think that it's welcome. I really do. I think that is welcome, especially given the formation change that we saw. We didn't see outright 4-4-2. We saw a 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1.
And I think that it might allow for more people to settle into more natural positions.
Okay.
Especially with Henny, right? Playing as a
10, man.
10.
He's a 10.
And not having to try to drift and do weird stuff.
Forward stuff. Let him play. Let him be a 10.
Let him be like that forward-thinking attacking mid. Like don't try to have him in those weird positions.
But we only saw him very late in the game.
Yeah, because he's coming off of injury,
that hip injury,
and
So we saw that much later in the game, and so before that we saw Randall playing in that spot.
Right.
And I think that he naturally can be one of these forward-minded players. He tried a couple of these outside shots.
One of them almost.
One of them
was like this close.
And his service for the first goal at, what was it, 30 minutes? Or
it was 34. And then
the service
got on it after.
Right.
And I've got to say,
okay, so we happy with Leal's play, but now we wanted to switch to.
I was hearing a lot of praise from him on Monday. I think Saturday. It was Saturday.
It was this weekend.
It was at some point. And I gotta say, I don't think I was impressed with his game.
Wow.
I think when he had the ball in the box, he was impressive.
Yes.
But aside from that, I don't think he added a whole lot of positional advantage. I don't think he was in space he needed to be in. I think that I saw that his opening touches weren't great. I mean, of course, he's just starting out, and there's always going to be a transitional period. But I wasn't immediately impressed with him. I think, despite the assist on his first start.
So So let's praise him let's be justly full of praise. We did see some real soccer intelligence from him in terms of, instead of heading it at the goal.
Yeah, he
knocked it down for Zimmerman. So it was like a sort of a drop-in pass with the head. There's some intelligence there. That was really great.
That's right.
But I agree with you also. But I also agree with you. I felt like him playing over Moore left so much space.
He didn't track back.
Was not tracking back.
I think Moore got on him for that.
I
think Moore was
there was
a little shouting.
Yeah,
you know,
there was a little bit of communication.
Like you need to come back. Like you can go out. That's fine, but make sure you're dropping back because I'm also trying to do that.
That's exactly it.
Like
so
that's one benefit I think of not playing.
Without Mouille, like if we had Mouille in that spot, now he may not have the speed. Or maybe the sort of the micro move talent that Pico has, and there's no doubt about the fact that he's got that.
Yeah.
But the thing about Mouille is that he'll do the rush forward, but he'll also come back and help with the defense.
Boy. He's going back. He's going forth everywhere.
And so if Pico isn't a reliable person to come back and cover defense, we've really only got two options. One that we three options. One, we don't ask Moore to run up anymore. That would be dumb.
And I was gonna say that's not playing to his strengths, but that is an option.
The option one is that we just tell Moore to stay back. I think that would be a terrible idea. Option two is that we overcommit and we just rotate the whole field rotates. So one of the center backs comes over.
Yeah.
Or, and I think that this is feasible given our numbers, one of those two shield midfielders in the middle comes back in and slides back over, and that's a kind of some of those there have been a number of plays where like we have seen Dax and we have seen Godoy play in that shield midfielder role, and then whenever our backs come forward, they'll drop back into the back position. But
I can see that.
Yeah. So I think that we've got some options if Pico is going to be like, look, he's going to be playing and he's going to play on that right. He's going to be rotating up a little bit higher. That means that he's not going to come back. And if Moore comes up, that just means that I think that either we rotate the defense or one of those shield midfielders comes back in.
I can see that, especially because I think once you've got a Nunga out there.
Yeah, Nunga could play that role.
I could see him playing that role. I think with Dax, you don't want to commit him too
I don't want to throw him as our last line of defense these days. I just don't know if he's got the wheels to do it.
I don't think that's best, but I think that depending on which sixes we've got out, that's very feasible.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen it in the past. I think it's been effective.
We've seen Dax used that way in the past a lot, and we've seen other teams kind of do this kind of that if you've got reliable sixes, you can throw some of your bigger defenders forward and have your six be back there to distribute to them.
Yeah.
So it's feasible, but it didn't look like that was actually happening.
No, it didn't look like that was happening, and I think Moore was like, "Look, man, we're doing this four in the back, 2-3-1 situation. We've got to make sure this works.
You got to come back and help. You got to come back and help, or we've got to change the defense."
But I gotta say, we saw Zimmerman in that moment use his feet.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not something we see too often when he scores.
So he won a lot of balls in the air with his head.
He won. I don't think he lost one. I think you counted 8.
I was counting. I kind of lost track after 8. I think maybe that was just
maxed
out at it.
Was that just the first half?
Maybe it was the first half. I don't. He won a lot of balls in the air, and I lost track.
Yeah, I was impressed with Zimmerman. I think
He had the goal.
My MVP, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that first half won everything in the air, was where he needed to be.
And they didn't see a lot from their offense. I mean, there was just a lot of stuffing. And again, that's not just on one person. But we didn't see a lot from their offense, really, for the first 40 minutes. I mean, they did not have a lot of chances.
No. The second half, we saw Magno cankered up into, 5th gear.
We saw Talis Magno do, that's the reason why they're spending that money on him.
They've really devoted, pretty much all of their effort and money into trying to feed him, it seems, given the composition of their team and who they lost over the trade period. Because they lost Morales and
Castellanos, but that was back in the summer. And I mean that's a huge loss, right? It's like where do the goals come from whenever the MLS goal leader gets taken off your team?
That's right.
And again, I think that they had Rodriguez, who also was a good scorer for them, but I mean they just, between the fact that like Maxi Morales is gone, Castellanos is gone, and Sands was part of that. Sands was a good part of that team, and so
does good work for our
national team.
I mean,
So look, I mean they've just got work ahead of them, and in some ways I'm glad we caught them when we did, because that's a team that's got the resources and got the
potential's there.
Yeah, they've got the potential. And so, they're going to find ways for Tallis Magno's magic to happen. And I'm glad that we caught them whenever they're still retooling. We'll see what they look like later in the season.
I'm anticipating that they find a way to just feed him those balls and he makes magic happen.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, as you mentioned, that transitional period for them, but once they've got it, I think it'll pay off for them.
Well, they just don't have any leadership in the midfield. I saw nothing from them.
In the middle, well, speaking of the middle, I think they abused how open our midfield became at times.
Oh, it's true.
Because they were able to cross those diagonals through. And if you were really watching, I think at least 4 times just in the second half, they were able to just X out that entire midfield and get balls down.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was really more testament to the sort of the right and left backs.
Yeah,
I mean, they were just like
because
that's the solution. I mean, I think that 4-4-2 fits our style, fits our personnel, and 4-4-2 is a good way to sort of lock down teams that generally are good at moving the ball. But the secret's out on how to beat 4-4-2 is with those long diagonal balls. Again, they're low probability, but
you smash enough of those, and they're low probability. But when they paid off, they pay dividends.
Yeah,
I mean,
And so there were a number. I think that there in the first half that there were at least 4 times that I was like, the 4-4-2 killer ball just showed right up on us.
The 4-4-2 killer. It's that diagonal
that diagonal ball. So I'm going to go to my notes here. So we wanted to talk about cross-play I'm so sick of watching our cross-play. I hate our cross-play. I hate our cross-play.
Yeah.
And given all of the skilled players that we've got and all of the nothing really direct with the exception of Hani's goal. Hani's assist to Schaffelberg's goal.
Yeah.
It's not Hani's goal. What am I talking about?
He came right on.
But he came on, right? It was like, in some ways it was his. And, but man, I just hate our crossplay. Like Schaffelberg's feeding balls in, that's great. Moore's feeding balls in.
Those are the two.
But those are the two, and it's just so frustrating because we, A, don't have the size. B, generally we don't have the numbers up front because if we're playing that one in the front, it's just going to take so many people to get in there. So we don't have the size again. Like with CJ in there, maybe it works.
You read my damn mind. CJ Sapong is who I was about to flag next because look, 1, has he lost his job? 2, should he be in loss of a job if we're going to be having that kind of crossplay coming in? I mean, honestly, he's tall, guys.
He's tall.
He's tall, and he's not bad in the air.
Yeah.
I know Sapong got a lot of hate last season, but I thought for what it was worth, he ran his ass off for 70 every time.
He's hustle.
And he was not bad at all in the air. And for a player up front, that's what you want with those crosses.
Yeah.
So
and if that's the way we're going to play, we need somebody who can do that. And again, I think Bunbury's a talented guy. Bunbury knows how to use his head, but Bunbury's not the kind of guy who's going to be able to snatch those. And he's just not kind of got the zone.
He doesn't have the zone.
That's necessary for that. So I'm just bothered by watching us run up this crossplay. I just like something more direct, please.
Yeah, right. Set piece goal.
They weren't ready. Finally.
Was it a set piece?
Was it a set piece? Were they ready?
Was it a set piece?
Were they ready?
Yeah.
So I guess there are only 2 things two other things that I wanted to talk about are the Godoy, and the change that Mukhtar, the completely different way the field looks whenever Mukhtar's on it for us.
Right.
So what do you want to start first?
Let's start with Mukhtar.
I think
Mukhtar because your first touch at the home opener, being an assist and being the direct play we needed. That's all. Listen.
Yeah, MVP for a reason, people.
That's a lot.
MVP for a reason.
I was a hater. I wasn't on Emma levels of hatred, but I was a hater. I was like, why are you guys yelling MVP? He hasn't touched the ball.
He hasn't touched the ball yet.
He hasn't done it. He's coming off an injury. You're gonna curse us.
Don't say. Yeah, you even said that. You said that in my eye. He said this in my ears. Like, this is a curse.
I thought it was.
This is a curse. This is a curse.
Like the evil eye is being tempted.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah, jinxed. And whatever, man. It's like you are yelling MVP has not touched the ball. This is the opening game. Don't do this till we were 1-up, and that's dangerous. With us. With us, you're yelling MVP. It's 1-0
Don't
with
go
us.
tempting Nemesis with that one,
You're
man.
tempting
There's
them.
not enough wood in the world to tap. With
I
that.
didn't have any wood to knock in there. I was like knocking my head. I'm just saying, 1-0, yelling MVP. Honey comes on. I thought this is where they get a set piece and we aren't ready.
Man,
but
you are correct.
Honestly, I don't even think we got lucky. Honey just blew past 3 defenders.
So there were 3 defenders in front, and then one trailing. 4, like
That's right.
there were 4 guys. I mean, again, he just
Drew
completely
3.
changed the shape of their defense. He gets the ball, he does a step over, and everybody gets weak in the knees. It's like a 15-year-old girl in the 50s looking at Elvis.
No,
you know?
yeah,
Like,
it's like you start shaking and you don't know what's going on.
What's going on?
It's just this effect on you, and it's just you cannot resist. It's crazy.
It's amazing. And so Hani came on, and really pretty much with the first time with the ball. I think that's right.
No, that was his first. I think other people also remarked. You remarked first. The interviews after the game, somebody else remarked. I can't remember who, but it was first touch, assist, direct play. Insane. And Schaffenberg was like, "Oh, thanks."
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Nobody's on me. All 4 of the defenders have decided to go Mark Mukhtar.
Coming on, yeah.
Which is, that's the effect that he's got on. That's the effect that he's got, and a thing that you could imagine someone feeling a temptation to have under those conditions, where it's like you're blazing at the goal,
right?
You're just on the field. Why the hell not crank it? Why not crank it?
Yep.
Why not crank it?
But he had the composure to not do that.
Boom.
To know where people were at and to just slide it
Slide it over in a perfect,
beautiful service.
Perfect service.
I couldn't believe it.
It was awesome.
I ate all of my words, all of my thoughts, all my desires, all my aims and aversions. I ate all of them, and I just let Hani just take over.
Thank you, Hani.
Thank you, Hani. I'm gonna say it. MVP.
Look at that. Look at that,
man. But Godoy.
So let's talk. Let's finish with Godoy.
Godoy, I gotta say, what a trooper. Another instance where I have to eat all of my words and thoughts and everything. Godoy, man, what a trooper.
Yeah, man.
That guy is rugged. I don't know what else to say.
If there was anybody who we on the field, and this isn't to take a dig on any of the other players.
No.
This is just to say, if you needed someone to play hurt for 10 minutes, who's on your short list?
It is
Anibal.
Anibal
is at the very top.
That's shortlist immediately. Don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's rugged.
That dude has got the grit. He's got grit on his grit.
He's got
gritty grit.
He's so gritty. He's like that sandpaper that's got the sandpaper under it.
That's exactly it.
Extra grit.
The extra grit.
Dude, pop me back in. Put me back in, coach. I could not believe it.
Yeah.
I could not believe it.
Running around the field for 10 minutes with that arm. Arm don't work, man.
I was like, somebody better not just go down on
arm
him.
doesn't work. Legs do.
Legs work. It's like you can't really try to run like that. Like that's not.
That doesn't
easy.
feel good, man.
But he stuck it through. Oh my goodness. And
love me some Anibal.
And he was on the ground fighting for the ball.
Yeah.
At times. I mean, what a player, man.
What a player.
What a player.
What a player. Just what a player.
What a legend. I'm going to call him a legend. Career restart.
Yeah. Well, this is one of these great stories, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like he had a great career at San Jose.
Yep.
He comes here and what a renaissance. I mean, the guy's a leader, the guy's a veteran, and the guy's tough as nails, and we get to see that again.
He's inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch that on the pitch as a fellow player, I mean, that's got to be inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what grit. True grit.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it.
Okay, so props to Anibal. Do we have anything else?
I'm looking forward to crushing Red Bulls.
Oh, man. Oh. Red Bulls, man. So
we Coach Davis. So
yeah, we poached Davis.
So I'm not completely worried about their midfield.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know what really is in store for us with them. I know that they lost their assistant coach. He's now coaching at St. Louis, which, by the way, St. Louis beating Austin away was amazing. That game was so astonishingly good.
Coming right into MLS and just
beating arguably the third best team in the league. Maybe?
Well, I was about to say Austin was on it, guys. Don't forget last season. Austin was
a good player, man.
Scary, Driussi's scary. Yeah.
Austin won that game, and there were some mistakes that sort of contributed to it, but then they just took that game by the scruff of the neck, and I can't remember. It's like Mueller. It's a German fellow's name. Great goal.
It's Mueller,
I want to say it's Mueller, but it's or Wagner. I think it's Wagner.
No, it's Wagner. It's Wagner. He was a thorn in our side regularly.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, props to St. Louis winning that game, but there were a lot of great games in the MLS, and so the cool thing about the Apple TV thing is that I came home and I was like, editing NSC fan TV stuff. I was just getting to watch all the other games going on. It was awesome.
Yeah, they're all on. So if you don't have it already, get that Apple TV.
Yeah,
you got access to it.
Got access. You should watch some MLS.
Yep.
Okay, I think we're done.
We're done.
Okay, NSC fan TV. Drew, Scott. You
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
You're a subscriber already. I know that about you.